Hello and welcome to this GMDE screencast. And today I'm going to show you how to use GMDE to extract orientation data using a processing of LiDAR DEM, which accentuates the bedding, a process known as texture shading. And we're looking at a LiDAR image, a 2-meter resolution LiDAR image from south of Ithaca, New York here, in a region that's completely covered by forests and fields. We can see that in GMDE if we go to the window menu and choose the satellite view. Satellite view of the exact same area is shown here, and you can see there's not much outcrop in this area. We're going to use typical 3-point problems, but to make sure that we're picking bedding surfaces, there's an extra step which is important to follow. And we're going to start with a well-behaved bedding surface, which is this one, which I'm tracing out now with the pointer, which runs around down here. We'll do the 3-point problem just as we normally do. We'll pick a point here, pick a point down here, and pick the third point along here. Let's say somewhere down in here, that same dark band all the way around. And GMDE has calculated an orientation for us. These rocks are nearly flat lying, so it suggests it's about 1 degree to the south. And that looks pretty good to me, so we'll accept it, and I'll hit record. And now, to double check, I'm actually going to use contact projection to see that we got the right orientation. And to do that, we're going to use this orientation and project a planar contact across the DEM. We go to Operations menu, we choose Project Contact from Orientation, and calculate surface trace. And there it is. As you can see, it matches the trace of that dark layer very, very well. So now we're going to keep this contact, and I'm going to show you an example about why this is so important to do. And we'll scroll up to here, to this area right here. Now you can see this nice dark layer in here appears to define bedding just like the other one did. And so we're going to do the same thing we did before. That is, carry out a 3-point problem. Pick our first point, our second point, and our third point. And we get a dip of about 5 degrees to the south in this area. It seems to work well, so we're going to record this. And then, again, we will do contact projection, which you also have a menu accelerator or shortcut command / here. And when we do that, you can see that, in fact, the dark layer does not apparently define a single planar surface through the bedding. I can try to replot that by, let's say, maybe I want to move point 3 up to here a little bit and say, well, let's try that for point 3. And it recalculates the strike and dip based on that. And if I accept that with record, GMDE will automatically recalculate the orientation. And nope, it still doesn't work. So let me try to reposition, put 3 back where it was, and let's put 2 down here and see whether we can get any better solution. Now we hit record, and when we hit record, it tries again to calculate it, and it still doesn't work very well. Let's try 2 up here. Record that, and nope, we're just not having much success. And so what this tells us then, I'm going to erase this projected bed completely, is that in fact, this is probably not a planar surface. I don't know what it is, whether it's anthropogenic, this is certainly anthropogenic here, or not. but it does not appear to identify a planar bedding surface intersecting topography. So I'm going to select that strike and dip and just delete it completely. So that, in a nutshell, is how we determine whether the points that we're picking on the texture shaded LiDAR DEM are likely to correspond to bedding or not. That's it. I hope you find this useful.